this is a little bit of a different way of talking about it. I kind of started to talk about it this way last night in class. Um, I learned it really working with a student who was really struggling to grasp why and how and when we make worlds. And one thing that I found myself continually yelling at him is just like, hey, why do we make worlds in the first place? What is the purpose of making worlds? And I'm going to say this probably 100 times tonight. I'm trying to beat it into your heads, I guess. But the purpose of making worlds is to eliminate rules. Typical logic games have a setup, like a paragraph part, and then anywhere between 3 and 6 or 7 rules. And it can be very difficult if you try to hold all those rules in your head at the same time, and you end up having to process all of the rules repeatedly in the course of answering the questions. When we make worlds, we're able to bake those rules into a setup using multiple templates, multiple solutions for the game. And the idea is we get to eliminate those rules from our thought process by baking them into a solution. Brittany, if you're using a lot of time making worlds, I think that's just because you just got to keep practicing. I please don't give up on the idea of making worlds just because right now it takes you a while to do it. I hope that tonight's lesson, remember, when you start making worlds, think about why you're doing it. The reason why we're making worlds is to eliminate rules. The reason why we're splitting worlds, if we decide to split, the only reason why we ever decide to split, we don't do that just for fun. We don't do that just for health. I'm not looking to make a certain number of worlds. What I'm looking to do is eliminate rules, okay? Eliminate rules. So I think probably what you're doing, Brittany, is that you're sometimes making splits that don't actually help you. You're making worlds where it doesn't help you to eliminate a rule. And that's your problem, is that you're not being judicious about when you make worlds or when you make splits. So before you make a world or before you make a split, think about, am I eliminating a rule here? And preferably, remember to go back to the first game we looked at tonight. Remember how hairdryer was mentioned in the first rule and hairdryer was also mentioned in the second rule? And hairdryer was also mentioned in the third rule. Well, a world where there is and a world where there is not hairdryer let us eliminate the first rule and eliminate the second rule and eliminate half of the third rule. And that's like the poster child for when it's a good idea to make worlds. Why? Because you get to eliminate those damn rules. Not just doing it for fun, not just picking a variable arbitrarily on which to make worlds. But I picked hairdryer there on purpose because I knew it was going to eliminate the first and second and half of the third rule.